Okay. Uh, Good morning, students. Welcome to the GST and CA class. Today, in this class, we are going to learn about the various tax returns to be filed by the various traders and suppliers under GST. So, after completion of this class, you will be able to know what are the different forms to be filed by the GST registered traders so as to fulfill the formalities or so as to follow the rules and procedures established under GST Act. Okay, let us start the class. India is heading towards its biggest tax reforms ever. The whole world is watching this rollout as the world third largest economy is moving towards a destination based tax reporting structure. Every transaction has to be reported through the last mile with a common invoice identifiable to the seller and recipient of goods and services. The GST Council and the Ministry of Finance have come up with a great solution to record all such invoices in one place and collate data for the taxpayers. The process have been simplified and many taxes have been removed. The whole nation shall report using the same structure irrespective of where and how you carry your business. A widespread IT system has been displayed or has been deployed by the ministry to cope up with such a huge influx of data. It is called the GSTN, that is Goods and Services Tax Network, that will house all the information of sellers and buyers together, collaborate the details submitted, and even maintain three registers for for future reference and anytime reconciliation. India is a third largest economy, which has changed its indirect tax structure from July 1st, 2017. After introduction of the GST, or after enactment of the GST Act, the country's tax structure and the tax administration, everything has changed. Several hurdles, several problems have been removed by introduction of GST. The reporting system, the administration system, the processing system, everything has been simplified irrespective of where and how you carry your business. Okay, so A widespread IT system has been deployed by the ministry to cope up with such a huge influx of data. So the GSTN, it is called the GSTN, Goods and Service Tax Network, that will house all the information of sellers and buyers together, collaborate the detailed, submitted, and even maintain 3 registers for you for future reference and anytime reconciliation. What is the GST returns? What do you mean by GST returns? For properly updating the invoices, Indian taxpayers and businesses have to file certain returns with the government. These returns have to be mandatorily filed, as any non-compliance towards the same may lead to disallowance of input tax credit, apart from attracting penalties and interest, etc. Proper filing of information and passing the same in the returns is a mandatory process for smooth flow of credit to the last recipient. Therefore, GST returns means the taxpayers, the business people who have registered under GST law, they have to file returns appropriately. That means monthly or quarterly or half yearly or yearly, so as to allow them to get input to tax credit, apart from attracting penalties and interest, etc. So submission of GST returns. In the GST returns, the information called for by the government has to be submitted through online. The returns have been designed so that all transactions are in sync with each other and that no transaction is left unattended between the buyer and the seller. The tail starts from GSTR1. All the data is stored in GSTN, which can be accessed by the users, taxpayers, anytime online. So the GST returns have been designed in such a way that every information is synced in the online and no transaction is left unattended between the buyers and sellers. Okay, all the data stored in GSTN, which can be accessed by the users, taxpayers, anytime online. Okay, this is what the GST returns, about the GST returns. Types of GST returns to be filed by normal taxpayers. What are the various GST returns? What are the various GST returns filed by the sellers, uh, by the taxpayers. There are various tax returns, or there are various forms of returns prepared and submitted by the taxpayers and business people through online. So what are those? Let us learn one by one. The first return form is GSTR1. GSTR1. The taxpayer records all his outward supplies of goods and services in details in this form. So in GSTR1, the taxpayer records all his outward supplies. That means all his sales of goods and services are to be recorded in GSTR1. This has to be mandatorily done by the 10th of the next month. That is monthly return. This is a monthly return form to be submitted by the 10th of the next month. That means for the month of January, February 10th will be the due date for filing GSTR1. In GSTR1, all sales details will be entered by the taxpayer. GSTN frequently changing the due date of filing GSTR1. So keep checking announcements. So keeping in view different circumstances, the GSTN means GST network will change the due date, but common date is the 10th of next month. Okay. Next, this will form the basis for all future flow and match for credit reconciliations. GSTR1 is a detailed form containing 13 different heads. In this GSTR1, there are 13 different heads, and it is a base for all future flow and match for credit reconciliation, because this is the main important returns. GSTIN of the taxable person, that is, these are the various items that appear in the GSTR1. That's one. Number one is GSTIN of the taxable person. This is auto populated. If you enter into the GSTN, then automatically your number will be displayed. Name, it's also auto populated. Gross turnover in the last financial year. What was the gross turnover, gross sales in the last financial year? The period for which the return is being filed. What is the period for which we are submitting the form GSTR1? That is month and year shall be available as a drop down for selection. So from drop down we have to select the month and year. Taxable outward supplies. What are the various taxable outward supplies? Here IGST shall be filled only in the case of interstate movement, whereas CGST and SGST shall be filled in case of intrastate movement. Moreover, details of any exempted sales or sales at nil rate of tax shall also be mentioned here. So the taxable outward supplies, the details of taxable outward supplies are to be filled. Next, outward supplies to end customer, where the value exceeds rupees 2.5 lakhs. So suppose if you have sold the goods or services to the end customer, if it exceeds 2.5 lakhs, then that also specifically mentioned in this GSTR 1. Many other supplies not covered in above two sections. Any other supplies which are not shown in the previous. Debit notes and credit notes details. So while selling and purchasing, we the sorry while returning the goods to the customer, or while getting returns from the customer, we prepare debit notes and credit note. Debit note, credit note means the notes prepared at the time of returns. So debit note means if you receive sales returns from the customer, then you will prepare debit notes. And suppose if you return goods to the seller, then you will prepare credit notes. Okay, so if you have received any returns, or if you have submitted any returns, debit note, credit note details are to be submitted. Then amendments to the details of any outward supplies of previous period. So if there are any amendments for the details submitted in the outward supplies of previous period, if any changes, these changes may be mentioned. Next, exempted, nil rated and non-GST supplies. The details of exempted goods, nil rated goods and non-GST supplied goods details also is to be filled. Next, export sales. If you have exported any goods or services during the period, that export sales details are to be filled. Next, tax liability arising out of advance receipts. So what is the tax liability arising out of advance receipts? That also is to be mentioned. Next, tax paid. How much tax you have paid? All the details are to be filled properly in GSTR 1. So GSTR 1 is a very important returns carefully submitted by the taxpayers. Okay. Next form is GSTR 2A. GSTR 2A, it is available on the 11th of the next month for the recipient to see and validate the information therein. Recipients have time between 11th to 15th of the next month to change any information, delete or add based on their books of accounts. Okay. So after submission of GSTR 1, GSTR 2A is available on the portal to the taxpayer. This is auto-populated. This is auto-populated form. You can verify from 11th of next month. That means after submission of GSTR 1, that same information is uploaded to the GSTR 2A. So that is to be checked by the taxpayer between 11th to 15th. And if there are any changes need to be made, those changes can be made. Next, GSTR 2. GSTR 2. This form is the culmination of all inward supplies of goods and services as approved by the recipient of services. The due date is 15th of next month. It is auto-populated with the details of GSTR 2A. Okay, so GSTR 2. GSTR 2 is submitted before by the 15th of next month. Okay, in this GSTR 2, all inward supplies all inward supplies of goods and services information is to be filled, and it is auto-populated with the details of GSTR2A. It is auto-populated. Auto-populated means based on the information submitted in GSTR1 and GSTR2A. This form is auto-populated. If there are any modifications that can be made. Okay. Next, GSTR1A. GSTR1A. The form shall be auto-populated after filing GSTR2 on the 15th of the next month, having all the correct or changed information. The supplier shall have the choice to accept or reject the changes made by the recipient. Following such acceptance, the GSTR1 shall be revised to such extent. So GSTR1A is also an auto-populated form. It is to be submitted by 15th of next month. Okay, the information filled in GSTR1A is taken from the form GSTR1. So whatever the modifications you have done in the GSTR1 is automatically corrected in GSTR1A. So that is GSTR1A. Next, GSTR3. Another form to be submitted by the taxpayers is GSTR3. This form is auto prepared by 20th of next month. Okay, so the due date for this form is 20th of next month. It will have the details of all outward as well as inward supplies of goods and services as furnished in GSTR1 and GSTR2. Okay, so GSTR3 is also an auto-populated form. The information regarding the inward supplies and outward supplies is taken from GSTR1 and GSTR2. So the information, whatever the information we have submitted through GSTR1 and GSTR2, that information is automatically filled in GSTR3. In GSTR3, we will have both inward and outward supplies details. Okay, so both will be auto-populated, and your input tax and output tax will be decided based on the GSTR3. Okay, next, GSTR9. GSTR9, another form to be submitted by the taxpayer is GSTR9. This is the annual return which the taxpayer has to file by 31st December of the coming financial year. So this GSTR9 is a annual return form. This is annual return form which is to be submitted by after completion of 1 year. The due date for submitting GSTR9 is December 31st of next financial year. That means for 2020-21, for 2020-21 financial year, the last date would be December 31st, 2021. Okay, so like that, the due date will be 31st of coming financial year. It is nothing but the accumulation of all 12 monthly GSTR 3 of the taxpayer. So we have submitted GSTR 3 monthly, no? We have submitted every month GSTR 3, in which both inward and outward supply details are available, and tax liability is available, and tax input tax credit information is available. So if you club together the 12 months GSTR 3, then GSTR 9 is created. That means it would also include the amount of tax paid during the year, including details of exports or imports. So the GSTR 9 is the annual returns filed by the taxpayer, and the amount of it includes not only the inward and outward supplies and taxes paid and input tax availed and exports and imports, all the details it includes, because it's the annual report, so final report to be submitted for a financial year. Apart from the above forms, apart from above forms, the government shall serve. Hey Babu, hey audio on చేసుకో. Hey Babu, ఎవరు ఆడియో ఆన్ చేసింది? ఆడియో మ్యూట్ చేసుకునేనా? So apart from the above forms, that means GSTR 1, GSTR 1, 2, GSTR 2A, GSTR 3, apart from GSTR 9, apart from these various forms, the government should serve those taxpayers who fail to furnish the returns on time. Notice in form GSTR 3A. So, if anybody has not submitted his returns by the taxpayers, then the government will issue notice to the taxpayer in GSTR 3A, in form GSTR 3A, the so-called notice will be given. After this GSTR 3 is fully accepted for the month, then final input tax credit shall be communicated through the form GST ITC 1. Okay, so after accepting the GSTR 3 submitted by the taxpayer, the government, the final input tax credit will be communicated in form GST ITC 1. The details of ITC 1 has to be confronted or confirmed in due time to get the credit for that month. So after receiving GST ITC 1, we have to confirm whether the input tax credit details are tallied or not. If the same is not done in due time, then it will disallow the credit for the month and will be computed as a tax liability for the month instead. So suppose if any taxpayer has not confirmed the input tax details given in the GST ITC 1, then he is not allowed input to tax credit and he has to pay tax to the government. Okay, these are the various forms to be submitted by the normal taxpayers. That is the form number 1, form number 2, form number 2A, form number 3, form number 9, and form number GST ITC 1. Now let us see what are the various returns to be filed by composition taxpayers. There is another scheme apart from normal scheme. It's a composition scheme. So the composition scheme, the people who are under composition scheme, the people who have registered under composition scheme are required to submit various forms. They are also required to submit various forms. What are those returns? GSTR 4A. GSTR 4A. This is the form to be filled by the or filed by the composition taxpayers. Okay. So GSTR 4A. It is similar to the GSTR 2A above. That means GSTR 4A is similar to the GSTR 2A. GSTR 4A is generated quarterly for composition scheme taxpayers. It has the details of the inward supplies as reported by suppliers in GSTR 1. Okay. So the GSTR 4A is generated quarterly because the composition taxpayers have to file quarterly reports. No monthly returns are submitted by the composition taxpayers. They need not submit monthly returns. Composition scheme traders are required to submit their quarterly returns. Okay. In this GSTR 4A, all the information that is filled in GSTR 1, the same information is filled in GSTR 4A. That means all the details are same as the details in GSTR 1. Okay, so that is a quarterly returns, that is GSTR 4A to be submitted by the composition taxpayers. Next, GSTR 4. GSTR 4. With the auto-populated details of GSTR 4A, the taxpayer can furnish all his outward supplies here. The due date is 18th of the following month and has to be filed quarterly. It also contains the details of tax payable and payment of tax. Okay, so GSTR 4 is auto-populated form, which is auto-populated. That means the information will be taken from the GSTR 4A. The taxpayer can furnish all his outward supplies here in the GSTR 4. For submission of GSTR 4, due date is 18th of the next month, 18th of the following month, and has to be filed quarterly. It is to be filed quarterly. It also contains the tax payable and tax paid. That details also it contains. Next, GSTR 9A. GSTR 9A. A. This is the annual return for all composition taxpayers. So GSTR 9 is an annual return for composition taxpayers. Okay, so the composition dealers have to file annual returns in GSTR 9A. It has to be filed by 31st of the coming financial year and includes all the quarterly returns filed by the composition taxpayer. Okay. Since it is an annual return, in this annual return, all the information relating to 4 quarters should be furnished. So the last date for this for filing GSTR 9A is December 31st of next financial year. Okay, it includes all quarterly returns filed by the composition taxpayers. Okay. So they are four tax 4A, 4 and GSTR 9. These are the three forms to be submitted by the composition taxpayers. Next, returns to be filed by foreign non-resident taxpayers. Foreign non-resident taxpayers also should file returns because they are also taxpayers and they should get registered under the GST Act. So, what are the various forms to be filed by foreign non-resident taxpayers? One, GSTR 5. GSTR 5. This is a detailed form containing the particulars of outward supplies, imports, tax paid, input tax availed, and the remaining stock. So in GSTR 5, outward supplies details, imports details, tax paid details, input tax availed details, the closing stock details. All these details are made available in the GSTR 5. This has to be filed monthly within 20 of the next month, or if the registration is given up, then within 7 days of such surrender or expiry of registration. So this form for filing this GSTR 5, the due date was 20th of next month. This is the monthly returns. Okay, or within 7 days of such surrender. Suppose if they have cancelled the registration, within 7 days of such surrender of registration is to be filed. Okay, that is the GSTR 5. GSTR 5 returns to be submitted by the non-resident taxpayers. Next, returns to be filed by an input service distributor. What are the returns to be submitted by the input service distributor? That means those who are providing service to the business organizations. So input service distributors are to submit the various forms. Under this category, GSTR 6A. GSTR 6A. This form will be generated by 11th of next month after the suppliers have filed their GSTR 1 on 10th of the next month. So the input service distributor report returns GSTR 6A is generated on 11th of next month. That means after submission of GSTR 1, this form is generated. It will be auto-populated. It's also auto-populated with the details of inward supplies made to them. So these, whatever the inward supplies made by the input service distributor, all the details are auto-populated. It has to be filed on a monthly basis by the input service distributor. It's a monthly reports to be submitted by the input service distributor, that is GSTR 6A. Next, GSTR 6. The input service distributors should also submit GSTR 6. Once the details are confirmed, once the details in GSTR 6A are confirmed or corrected by the ISD, if then GSTR 6 will be generated. The auto-populated information in GSTR 6 is confirmed or corrected by the input service distributor, then GSTR 6 will be generated. It has to be filed by the ISD by 13th of next month. So this is a monthly report or monthly return to be submitted by the input service distributor by 13th of the next month. This is also a monthly filing. This is also monthly returns. Next, returns to be filed by a tax deductor. So those who are deducting tax from the payments of the customers, what are the returns to be submitted by the tax deductors? Okay. So they should also submit the returns. Under their returns, GSTR 7. GSTR 7 is one such returns. Details of the tax deductions made during the month have to be furnished here. Details of tax deductions made. What are the various tax deductions made during the month? All information they have to furnish in GSTR 7. The due date is 10th of the next month. For submission of GSTR 7, the due date is 10th of next month. Next, GSTR 7A. This is another form to be submitted by the tax deductor. This is a TDS certificate which is auto-generated upon filing the GSTR 7 by the tax deductor. Okay, so GSTR 7A is a TDS certificate, tax deducted at source certificate, which is auto-generated based on the information submitted in GSTR 7. It will be available for the assessees to download and keep a record of. So for the purpose of download, it is made available in the website. It will contain details of the tax deducted and the total amount of payment made. It will contains details of tax deducted, how much tax he has deducted, and the total amount payment made. What is the total amount paid and what is the total tax deducted from the source. These details are available or to be submitted under the GSTR 7A. Next, returns to be filed by an e-commerce portal. Returns to be filed by an e-commerce portal. So e-commerce operators, what are the various returns to be submitted by the e-commerce operators? So under this category, the e-commerce operators have to submit GSTR 8. GSTR 8 is a form to be submitted by the e-commerce operators. This form or this return shall contain all the supplies made by the e-commerce seller and the amount of tax collected as well. It has to be filed by 10th of the next month. Okay, so GSTR 8 is a return contains all supplies made by the e-commerce operator or seller. The amount of tax collected as well is to be mentioned in GSTR 8. This GSTR has to be filed by the e-commerce operators by 10th of the next month. By 10th of the next month. For those assessees whose annual turnover exceeds 1 crore rupees Indian currency, 1 crore, then a reconciliation statement in Form GSTR 9B, a reconciliation statement in Form GSTR 9B has to be filed by the 31st December of the next fiscal year. It has to be filed annually and is basically an audited annual account duly certified by competent authority. So, for those assessors whose annual turnover exceeds 1 crore Indian rupees, then a reconciliation statement in Form GSTR 9B has to be filed by the 31st December of next financial year. It has to be filed annually and basically is an audited annual account duly certified by competent authority. This is the annual statement submitted by the e-commerce operators. Where the assessee is a government body, where the assessee is a government body or a United Nations body, then a monthly Form GSTR 11 has to be filed by 28th of the next month. Okay, so in case of government body or United Nations body, they have to file monthly Form GSTR 11. GSTR 11 form is to be submitted by 28th of the next month. 28th of the next month. These bodies have a UIN and hence will be required to furnish the details of inward supplies. So GSTR 11 has to be filed by 28th of the next month, and these bodies will have UIN number and required to be submitted details of inward supplies. Okay. Next, where a taxable person registration has been surrendered or cancelled, then a final return in Form GSTR 10 has to be filed within a 3 months of such cancellation or registration. It will declare the input tax credit and the capital goods held by the taxpayer, the tax payable and paid at such time. Okay, so in case of the taxable person surrendered the registration or applied for cancellation of registration, then in that case a final return is to be submitted by that particular person in Form GSTR 10. GSTR 10 form is a form to be submitted by the firms which have applied for cancellation of registration. Okay, it will declare the input tax credit, capital goods held by the taxpayer, the tax payable and paid at a such time. So uh, the input tax credit details, the input tax payable, the taxpayer details, capital goods held by him, all the details will be available. The government has automated all the forms together by bringing the same details on a real-time basis in front of the taxpayers. Okay, all these various forms, whatever we have discussed so far, all these forms are made available in the website. The step which is of paramount importance is step 1, that is form GSTR1. It will form the basis of all further activities. So GSTR1 is one of the important form which is base for all other forms. Any shortcomings or short filing of information in the details provided by the suppliers can be rectified or changed or deleted by the recipient in ample period of time. It is a seamless process that matches all information together to get the final credit figures and the tax payable if any. So any shortcomings in short filing that can be rectified, corrections can be made and deleted sometimes by the recipient, and time will be given to the taxpayers to modify their formats. Okay, so it's a continuous process in which the information from the taxpayers to the government will continuously flow from one to another. Now, how to file GST returns online? Now, whatever the returns we have discussed so far, all these returns are to be submitted through online only. No manual returns to be submitted. All are online returns. How to submit? How to file? No matter whether you are a trader or a manufacturer, you will have to file returns mandatorily. So once you get registration under GST Act, you are compulsorily file the returns, monthly returns. It is a matter of perception when it comes to the defining the whole return filing process, as some may treat it as a cumbersome or some may feel happy with the level of automation available. Draft GST return format provided by the government can easily confuse a small business owner who does not have any account knowledge. Therefore, the returns, whatever the returns, all the returns are to be filed through online. Some may treat, so online submission is compulsory. So online return forms may be prepared manually and can easily fill in the online. So in this format, in this way, the returns of traders and manufacturers have to submit various GST returns based on their schemes. Okay, these are the various forms to be filled by the taxpayers under GST. Okay, thank you very much for attending the classes. The strength of the online class daily is declining. Please, all of you listen carefully. If the government does not allow you for the examinations, we are not responsible. Every day, the strength has been declining. It's not good on the part of the education. It is for the benefit of student. We have been conducting online classes. If you do not attend for online classes, it's meaningless. Okay, so I request all of you to attend more and more for the online classes. Okay, now you post your number and exit.